Lululemon holding its Analyst Day. First time in 5 years, laying out a 5-year growth strategy for investors. Digital, menswear, and international at the core of the company's vision. Here for his first interview since being named CEO about 9 months ago, Calvin McDonald, the CEO of Lululemon. Welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you and to hear about your plans. So this week you're talking about taking growth at the company up to the next level. How ambitious do you think the targets you laid out were?
I think they're reflective of the opportunity we see. As we shared yesterday, we believe we're in the early innings of the growth opportunity behind the organization. And when we reset after an incredible 2018, which is going to allow us to achieve our 2020 plans early, it was the right opportunity to set new goals for the 5-year for 2023, and we feel it's reflective of the opportunity we see ahead.
You also painted a picture of Lululemon getting into skincare and shampoo and luggage. How different is this company going to look in the next 5 years?
Yeah, we painted a picture of really focusing on our opportunity to grow the core. That was the main message. We're going to continue a disciplined approach, building out our business through the core, expanding some of the categories we're in already, and we're going to test and learn into some new categories. But the bulk of the driving of the opportunity over the next 5 years is really focusing on our core, women's, doubling our men's business, doubling our digital business, and quadrupling our international business.
Wanted to talk about men because you do want to double that business in 5 years, and I know men's pants, for instance, are growing like crazy, but do you still have the stigma of being a women's yoga brand when you're trying to sell to men?
Our opportunity in men's is our awareness. Our unaided awareness is low, which is exciting in terms of the opportunity for growth. So I think it's less about trying to change the perception of the brand when unaided awareness would suggest you can create the perception. So we're actually really excited about the performance of our business so far and the fact that with that unaided, we can actually shape the perception of the brand we want and drive the business and the growth and the success that we see being able to achieve.
How do you think about the competitive landscape, though? I mean, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, they dominate men's sportswear. I would argue more male-friendly brands. They're all trying to chase the women's business. So how do you go up against the giants?
Yeah, we have a unique point of view. I mean, our vision is to ignite a community of people living the sweat life. And by the sweat life, we really look at the balance between both mind, body, and connection. And we want to talk to the guy as we are talking to our female guests that resonates with. And we feel that's very unique and different. And there's a large population and opportunity for us to grow.
Are you going after the guy going to the gym, or are you going after the guy going to work in ABC pants, which are very popular, I will say, at CNBC lately?
We're going after, we believe life is a sport, so we're really going after both because we think it's the same individual. And the spirit of the sweat life is to and from the studio and at the studio. People want technical apparel that performs for them. And that's what we provide, that's what we obsess about, that's what we innovate for, and that's the group we're going after.
You did recently sign Nick Foles as a brand ambassador. How did that come together?
I mean, it's one of those exciting ways where, you know, with our ambassadors, and we have over 2,000 around the globe, we build authentic relationships with them. And we're both drawn to each other for those shared values and the philosophy of the sweat life. And with Nick, it was the exact same thing. He loves the brand. He loves what it represents, and he equally represents the same values that we do as a brand. So it was a perfect relationship in which, you know, we both wanted to work together to represent the sweat life. And he's incredible in the community. He represents the brand well in that way of life. So it was one of those perfect, very authentic relationships, and we're excited to have him as an ambassador.
But he also represents the first real major, I would say, sports athlete that Lululemon has signed as a sponsor. Are we going to see more of that? Are you going to go up against the big guys when it comes to courting athletes?
We're not going to pay and chase high-profile athletes. It's not who the brand is. But we will continue to look to build relationships. We have some incredible relationships today with both male and female athletes through our ambassador program that represent who we are, and we represent who they are, and we'll continue to pursue those regardless of the sport activity that they participate in.
Something else that you sort of laid out yesterday a little bit was sneakers and how you want to go deeper into the footwear category, which leaves some investors wondering why. It's away from the core, and it's also very crowded and very competitive.
Yeah, we delivered a very strong message yesterday. which is, the three drivers behind our 5-year growth strategy is going to be innovative product, our omni guest experience, and expanding our markets. And that is really focused on the core, a disciplined approach that's going to allow us to drive the growth through those. With that, we're going to test and learn. And sneakers and a few other categories are a few that we may test and learn as we go, but they're not the drivers of the growth.
They're extras.
They're extras, and as a business, we're going to be disciplined and focused on building our business through the core. But we have tested footwear. We did see some very positive results, and in the future, it's a category that we'll look at entering, and we'll announce at a later date, but not in the short term.
So part of expanding the core, big time, is expansion internationally. You want to quadruple
our international business.
How do you do that?
Well, we see a huge opportunity in the markets we're in already, actually. I've traveled since joining Lululemon, and the energy that we're seeing in both Europe and Asia Pacific, in particular China, is incredible. So when we talk about the vision of igniting a community and people living the sweat life, that really is a lifestyle that resonates with who our brand is and what we're trying to create, both through retail experiences and through our community connections. And it is resonating, and it is happening in a lot of the markets we're serving today. So we just feel we're well positioned as a brand with a unique point of view to embrace that growth, and that's where we're going to see a lot of that growth.
But also with a high price point. I mean, and you're known for not having to discount. I know you talk a lot about that.
Yep.
I mean, does that work? Are people in China going to buy $100 yoga pants?
I think guests buy quality and gear that performs. And we invest in our product. We're athletes designing for people that want to live an athletic life. And our technical apparel performs. And it will continue to perform. And that's why we invest, and our price points reflect that. And the fact that the business is doing so well, I think, is a reflection that guests are rewarding us with that technical performance. And as I've said before, performance is not a trend that's going to go out of style.
And it scales, and it goes international.
And it scales, and it goes international. And
how do you get someone like me to pay $108 for a bra? How does that work?
Well, I mean, that is a particular niche product that's a high-impact bra, which is, in our opinion, the best bra on the market for runners that's been designed to provide the support that a runner needs. So it performs better than any other bra on the market. It's not priced at $108 because of an aesthetic standpoint. It's priced at $108 because of the technical performance of that product. And as I said, because it's one of our top-selling bras, the guests are telling us they respond to that type of technology, and we price it appropriately because we invest and embed the technology to support the price point.
Digital is obviously the other key pillar here that we should talk about. And it sounds like what you're laying out is e-commerce to be 50% of your business over the next few years. Very few retail brands and retailers actually have that kind of proportion in terms of how much digital business. What makes you different?
Yeah, we're excited about our digital business. We actually didn't state 50% across the market as a total share of our business, potentially into the future, but within the 5 years we see doubling it. But our store-based business continues to grow and will grow at low double digit. So I don't manage the business on penetration, because you can get that if something's declining versus something growing. Our core is growing, our digital business is growing. We're going to double it. We're going to see good penetration in North America. Potentially in some of our international markets like China, we'll get closer to 50% sooner, but that's a reflection of the opportunities that those markets offer up.
So you're growing like crazy, but there are people out there. We had earlier this week an interview with Professor Asma Samarodin. He looks at valuations. He bought into the Levi Strauss IPO. He said, I'd bet on Levi into the future over something like a Lululemon, he said, which will be distant memories, because I think one of the problems with the brand names of today, he says, is they build up really fast, but they don't have roots, and millennial consumers don't have loyalty. Why is he wrong?
I think he's wrong for a variety of reasons. One is we're a 20-year-old brand that is showing that our best days are still ahead of us. Our guest loyalty is above almost any other brand I've seen. What I shared yesterday is that 92% of our loyal guests that shop with us continue to shop with us year in, year out. I've never seen another brand that has that type of engagement with their loyals. So we're connecting.
Why? What is it?
I think it goes back to the performance of the product. It goes back to what the brand represents. We are a purpose-driven brand that reflects the values, connects to the community, and brings a spirit through our educators and the ambassadors in the community that we connect. And I just think that is a very unique position to have in the marketplace. It's incredible product that performs, and people feel the heart and soul of the brand. And I don't think that will ever go out of style. And we're connecting with the millennials today as strong as we're connecting with our current demographic.
And finally, some people thought the shampoo and the skincare line has to do with your background as the head of Sephora, Luggage. I mean, all these extras, as you called them. If you think of Lululemon as a lifestyle brand that you want to expand and take into new categories, is there anywhere you think you can't be?
Yeah. I view Lululemon as an experiential brand versus a lifestyle brand. I think the brand represents a way of life, but it's not a lifestyle brand, meaning I'm going to diversify into a variety of categories that don't reflect who we are at the heart and soul, which is people living the sweat life. So that's where we're going to continue to focus. We have no intentions of going into luggage. We talked about accessories and bags yesterday to and from the studio. I think that's an opportunity. It's authentic to who we are. And self-care, that business has been built up and tested before I joined the organization. So the good news is I have experience in the category. I see an opportunity for it. We're solving solutions for athletes, which is unique in that space, but we're going to test and learn. We did last year. We're going to roll out to 50 doors and online this year, and we'll see. But it's going to be one of those very small test and learns, figure out as we continue the discipline of building our core.
Do you cringe at the word athleisure?
I don't cringe at it, but I don't think it represents who we are.
Yes. Your predecessor didn't like that word either. Calvin McDonald, thank you very much.
Thank you
for joining me. The CEO of Lululemon, first TV interview since taking the job 9 months ago.